Cheers, Skoll, Prost, and Sláinte. Apologies for my terrible pronunciation, but I would like to invite you all to raise a glass with your Premiership ambassador on this warm July evening. And a toast to my guests. I'm joined by three of Europe's top Team Fortress 2 players, the most influential figures, three outspoken captains who have secured a spot in the climactic finish to ETF2L Season 15. We got Numlocked, we got Zebbosai, and we got Ips. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
Good evening.
Well, you don't sound too excited yet, but I'm going to get it pumped up here. My involvement with Season 15 has been pretty minimal in comparison to seasons gone by, and in that spirit I asked myself at the start of the week, what's the laziest way I could produce some content for the playoffs? So here we are, 3 interviews rolled into one, and as if that wasn't volatile enough, I've decided the only responsible thing to do here is pour some alcohol onto these verbal flames. Do you all have an adult beverage at hand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Okay, I've concocted a fairly simple drinking game. It's based on your personality tics that I've witnessed in past interviews. So the rules are, you must drink when Ips spells out ETC. You must drink when Zebbosai answers a question with, I don't know, and then goes on to give an answer anyway. And you must drink whenever Numlocked laughs like a little girl. Are we clear?
Okay. Drink.
There we go.
He just did
Drink.
it. Yeah, drink. Okay, I know the people on the internet, they're incredibly busy, so I'll do my best to keep things focused, keep it moving, and make sure no one is dominating the debate too much. So, before we get into the interview proper, I will give you all a chance to introduce yourselves to our viewers. Tell them who you are, who you play for, what your role is, what you're drinking, and please give it a bit of pizzazz. Give me some Hollywood. Sell yourselves. Numlocked, you're up first.
I'm Numlocked. I'm one of the two main callers for Epsilon. I play Demoman, and I'm currently drinking La Moraz, which is a white wine.
Stop. We need a new rule.
What's the new
Everyone
rule?
that drinks, a girl drinks. Every time
New
he
rule.
drinks a girl drink, we need to drink for him. Oh, drink.
Yeah.
Who brings a white wine to this? Wow.
White wine's nice. What's wrong with white wine?
Okay,
You and your fucking
let's
whiskey.
stay focused here. Zebo, introduce yourself.
Zebbosai, I play pocket for Broder. That's it. I'm main call too, yeah.
What are you drinking?
Are you drinking at
Oh
the
yeah, I'm
minute?
drinking vodka and some Bacardi, but I have nothing to mix it with.
Do you want to start a fundraiser for that? Okay. Eps.
I'm Imposai. I play pocket for Wu-Tang Clan, we're called at the moment. And we're currently third seeded team in Europe. And I'm also the main caller. And I'm the guy from YouTube.
I'd like to jump onto that one actually. Ips, what's the deal with this new Wu-Tang
Are you
Clan
really called
name?
Wu-Tang Clan?
Does you have Riz's blessing?
Why?
Yeah, we're called Wu-Tang Clan.
Why?
We
are you
might change
doing
before land.
the, like,
Because
cicada
Wu-Tang
thing of
Clan ain't
switching
nothing
your
to
name
fuck
or
with.
something? What the fuck? Why?
Because we
Makes
don't have
sense.
Epsi as our sponsor. You would do exactly the same without an org. We're like Loris.
I'm very confused as well. Numlocked.
We
You
might
changed your name on ETF2L to Epsilon, sponsored by Fragnet. Do I have
You
to say
should.
that every time
Give them the
make
exposure.
a cast about Epsilon?
They're sending us to LAN.
It's quite a mouthful, man. Epsilon eSports.
Yeah.
Okay.
Best service.
Best service, by the way.
Well, just to clarify, you don't have to call them Wu-Tang Clan, guys. I imagine I'm going to be using Crack Clan, Zaibatsu, Wu-Tang Clan, any interchangeable mix of these things. So all you uptight people watching this, just deal with it. But we will get down to business now, and I've got a few questions set up here, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to set you up and just light a flame here, see if we can get some drama going. I'll start off by saying, at the start of every season in recent memory, there's always been a little bit of hype around the pretenders to the throne. The forums are awash with wild predictions of Broder or Crack Clan, Zebbosai, Wu-Tang Clan taking the crown from Epsilon eSports, and yet every season Epsilon wipe the floor with all comers. Zebo and Ips. I'll go with Zebo first. He's soft spoken. How does it feel to be caught up in this hype? You know, the people that build you up, they build up Broder, and then Epsilon just smash you in the main season. That's got to be tough, right?
Well, yes, it's tough, but I think it helps us too. Like, we try harder because people think we're good, so we try to get good. But then we lose anyway. Drink.
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 Ips, how do you deal with the hype?
Is it my turn? Oh, I just wait until gear gets cut, and then I come in.
Can't beat him, join him.
Like, I'm waiting for my Romans.
That's what I did.
Then I don't have to deal with my teams anymore. Yeah, can't be Broder. Fuck that. Like, no, it's cool. Like, obviously you have to be aware that about the concept of Epsilon. I've talked about this numerous times with Zeb, that they constantly pick up the best people, and you have to compete against that. And obviously they have a whole different mindset in going into games. Like, they have no point to prove, and you have every point to prove that there is, so they can just play on a different level every time they face you. And that's important, that people not only get better at their game, but also evolve as a player to get even close to the mindset that they have at the moment. That's what I feel. Like, the mindset and the calls and everything just has to shift to beat this team in the end.
Yeah, a lot has been made of it in the past by casters, commentators, just saying that Epsilon, even Epsilon themselves, have said that they have this psychological advantage because they're the best of the team to beat. But Zebo and Ips, I've got you slightly brewed up here. You've had a few sips of an alcoholic beverage. Maybe you can give me an actual truthful answer. Whenever you're coming to these Epsilon games in the main season, do you really think you can win? Or is there something at the back of your mind where you think, damn, these guys can't be beat?
Well, yeah, like, if you don't think you can't beat them, you will never beat them. So we have to go in thinking we'll beat them. And we've come close a few times on at least maps. So I think we got the potential to beat them. We'll see in the final, I guess.
Like, Epsi is beatable. Problem, though, the advantage that they have is that they don't lose grip just coming from their sheer advantage and the mindset that they have. They lose a round and they instantly recover and change everything to adapt to this, instead of letting it sink into their brains and thinking about the round that was happening before. So they always, when they go round down or 2 round down, they just change something immediately and they throw you off guard, and you let it affect your gameplay, and that's what makes them so the time it takes them to adapt to you, and just the strength of the mindset in the end. And so they are beatable. It happened before, but it's kind of hard because obviously the skill on every single one, almost every single one in that team is outstanding.
Drink. Okay, well, Numlocked, you've heard these two guys blowing hot air. Do you think they're caught up in a fantasy, or do you actually consider them as contenders?
I mean, going into every game, we've always got the confidence and thought in our mind that we're going to win. We never really have to worry about the fact that we're going to lose, because there's no need to. We've been unbeaten for like a year now. There's no need to think about losing. It'll happen eventually, but we're not worried about when it'll happen. We're just happy to take every game in our stride and focus on that one game and getting that victory again.
You know, you lose maps in PCW sometimes to these teams. I don't know how often it's been this season, but I know that whenever, say it was me in that position taking a map off Epsilon, we're getting all hyped, but do you guys to Epsilon see that as a setback, or are you just like not even bothered? Do you mind losing in practice?
We, like, our mindset in scrims compared to officials is completely different. Like, for one thing, our scouts don't focus at all on scrims. I'm not as try hard, so to speak, in scrims as I'm in officials, and like that's already 3 people that aren't as focused as they would be normally if something was actually on the line. I think for a lot of Epsilon now, we're more playing for the fact that we are unbeaten than anything else, and in scrims that doesn't really matter anymore. That's just like, it's nice to see what mistakes we make in scrims and then focus on how to stop those mistakes from happening. I would rather get rid of those mistakes than see them happen in an official.
Yeah, that's the different, I feel, if we now pair the top 3 directly to the rest of the Premiership as well, is that these guys actually review their shit. Like, when they get beaten, Zeb sits down, watches like a VOD of us streaming, streaming for a second. Well, it happened.
Don't steal my next question.
Oh god. Well, either way, they care, right? They care a lot about the game in the end, and then they bring this extra 30% to the official that they don't need to bring to the scrim, and that is just then really hard to play against. Like I said before, it's the mindset that changes from the scrims to the officials.
Yeah,
well,
exactly. You're right.
Like, every time we play them in scrims, for us, it's like in an official, we have to struggle, right? We have to fight. We have to fight for every inch, and they're like, just like, okay, well, they beat us today. Fuck that, we see them in 3 weeks and we beat them 5-0 in the official, and they know it. Like, they can have this kind of ease going into scrims, and we can't have that. So there's a tension going into these officials on our side already that they don't really have. That makes the difference, I feel, a lot.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, like occasionally, if I've got free time, I'll look over like a VOD or a demo or whatever, and I'll see what you guys are doing against us, and I'll talk to the rest of the team and tell them exactly what's happening and what we should do against that, and we'll have that prepared for the next official we have, not the scrim, because the scrim, like as I've already said, isn't as important. But for the next official, we'll have that prepared, and we'll know exactly what you guys will want to do, what we should do against it, and we'll be ready for it.
Okay.
I mean, even tonight we were watching HRG games, and we've been studying ready for I-49. We want to be prepared. We want to take it a lot more seriously than last.
That's impressive.
Last time.
But
they're the second team though that started to watch HRG game. They weren't the first.
Oh, I don't want to give away your secret technology, you know. But I was going to say anyway, some of it's already been covered, but like none of you have really had particularly challenging fixtures this season outside of playing each other, and that even excludes Numlocked. But the skill gap between divisions and ETF2L is always something that people have talked about. You know, it's a topic for discussion. But beyond that, in the Premiership, then you've got this like glass ceiling. Jimmy Breeze once talked about that there's very few teams managed to break through. I mean, let's just take it through everybody here. We'll work through the seeds, I guess. Ips, you're down there at the bottom, number 3. What is it that the teams below you need to do to compete with the top 3?
What they would need to do in the future?
Yep.
What they need to change? They just have to care. Like, I feel that the teams underneath us are all a random assembly of talent that don't spend time and work hard on their gameplay together. Like, they are getting stuck into that mentality of, well, we are Premiership and we are mid-Premiership, so we settle here. Like, it's not... These guys here, Zeppo and Numlocked and I, like, we have this sort of, I would say, like, the champion mentality or champions mindset, right? We all want to achieve a certain goal and we don't settle for, like, I'm not satisfied getting 3rd. It's cool if we get 2nd, but my goal will always be to get number 1. And this shows that we have a different level of caring about the game, you know, than the other teams like that. I don't feel that they're, like, watching VODs of us playing or Zebbosai playing or Numlocked playing to prepare against the games. Like a good example for that was in the interview that I had together with Mighty Me when we played against Alarm in the official in ETF2L. He said afterwards, well, going into a game against Crackland, we don't really care, right? And this is the wrong mindset. Like, they should care. They should care about every single good game they can get and they can learn from. But if they go into these games against the, let's say, top 3 team, then they don't give a shit. They're not going to go anywhere. Like, they're not going to go beyond what they reached so far. They will stay bottom Prem, mid-Prem for ages, and then they will settle there. They can call themselves Prem. They reach their goal to play Premiership once, and then that's it.
Okay. Zebbosai, do you find yourself agreeing with Ips?
Yeah, it's like Ips is saying, but also, like, as Ips said earlier, Epsilon took, like, pretty much the best lineup they could get. And then, like, us and CC, we had to get the best of the rest. And then there's nothing left for, like, the worst team, so to say. Like, but before, the good players were a bit more spread around, but now they're stacked in like 3 teams.
Well, I disagree, actually. I feel that, especially when you see like an RLM roster or something, there's so much raw talent there with like the soldiers and the scouts that you have, but they don't care. Like, Quad and Walters don't give a shit anymore, right? And Tech, he plays, he hangs into that team until he goes to play LAN with Punchline. And you can see that in the way they play together, that they don't give a shit, it feels like. And
it's true about RLM, but the thing is they have good lineup, but they have no main caller, and that's what they're lacking.
Yeah,
that's why they can never get better.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually, that, you know, there's a lot of talented players in the Premier Division, but there's just too few leaders, or a lot of them seem to play like an autopilot without actually thinking about what they're doing in every situation. But coming back to you, Zebbo, keep it rolling here. I want to ask you then, you've agreed with Ips about everybody below 3rd place, but what is it that Crack Clans and Bad Wu-Tang Clan are likely to compete with the top 2, you know? Why can't they beat you?
Well, they definitely can't beat us. Like, it's super close every game. It's just one push wins us the game. I don't know really why we win.
I don't know, okay, drink that.
Oh, drink!
Nah, but I don't really know. Like, they have a good lineup, and I just feel that our side is maybe a bit better, and that's why we win.
You have a lot more of, let's say, more experienced people in the team. Like, the stuff that I, especially when I still played with Brigo and Teammate, what I had to tell them, I don't think you actually had to tell Rip or Jukebox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a slight difference in that. There was a huge workload of me just watching STVs of them, and I don't think any one of you two ever had to commit that much time to actually get their roster going. And like it's cool now. Like with Cadis, it's a lot more relaxed. But I think we're gonna come to that later.
So you're saying then that the thing they have over you is experience? Is that the reason that all these teams can't break into the top 3 then? Because they just lack the experience? Is it like a losing battle?
No, the problem is I've read an American football by a saying by an American football player that went like hard work beats talent when talent stops to work hard.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
And there, like we said, like there are tons of talented people in Premiership. Like even Broder Prem, there were like super good soldiers aim wise. Like Hicks, for example, is like really good aim wise, but he would have to improve so much on his game sense. But they don't. Like they don't spend time, I think, actually watching others play the game, like better pocket soldiers or whatever. And that's what I mean. Like our team, especially our team, never was born like into greatness. Like we always had to fight to keep our level up, right? With like a lot of time commitment. And I think that works. Like that works in the end if you just care and you give them energy and you show them that you care about their game as well. They give you energy back, and then that's how you keep it rolling. That's how you make people care, because you show them, look, that guy has so much passion about the game, and he cares so much about my game as well. He watches my demos and he looks up what Numlocked is main calling, and what they want to do next. So they start to commit more time to it as well, and that's how it spirals. So now I'm at the point where suddenly Teammate starts to watch Tagarung demos over the weekend, and Cadis comes up with like, okay, well, Cookie is there and there on that rock and at that timing and stuff like that. This is really like, for me at the moment, it's a really good time to just play.
Okay, well, Numlocked, you've heard these guys talk again. I'm coming to you. You know what I'm going to ask? What are all these fucking scrubs about Epsilon doing wrong? Please, can you tell them how to get good?
No, I pretty much agree with what they both said. I mean, it's more about how much you put in, how much effort you put in, how much time you put into improving your own game and learning what other teams are doing, rather than focusing on either DMing or just turning up to actually play. I mean, I think that's what a lot of teams do wrong, is that they just turn up and play, which is fine. I mean, TF2 is not exactly some huge game that they can earn lots of money off, so people can't be expected to want to put that amount of time in. But that's what the top teams are doing. The top 3 teams, at least, are putting the time in to watch VODs, watch demos, and learn off their previous results or previous results. They're putting more work in than anybody else is, and that's where the lower Prem is struggling. They don't care enough.
I think that's a problem for us. Like, we don't put enough time into it, our own game. We just play out the BSWs. Like lately, Rib, he's been practicing rollouts, watching demos, fixing a config.
Exactly.
And he's improved a lot.
You're a team of players.
All right. Yes. No laughing in people's faces.
You're a team of players that have been playing for a long time. You've got Rib that's been playing the same amount of time as me, like 5 or so years. You've got you who've been playing maybe 2, 3, 4. Cookie, similar amount. Bibben for about 5 years. You've all been playing a very long amount of time, and so obviously you're all very kind of tired of the game. And it's hard to put that amount of time in, especially if you're only constantly getting that second result. It's hard to put in the effort to actually get first. Whereas for Epsilon, the only person that's been playing that long, I think, for me, for us, is me. I think I'm the only one that's been playing about 5 years. We've got Nox maybe on 3 or 4, Mike on about 3. Everyone else about similar. So the most work, ironically, is put in by me. I feel like I watch more VODs and stuff of other teams than anyone else does, and I kind of organise everyone else to make sure that we watch VODs and stuff as well. But that's also something else that you guys are lacking, is that you don't have a motivated main caller. In that I've been playing for so long that I've got so much experience, and that I still watch VODs and stuff to learn from other teams and see what our mistakes are.
That is something also I want to talk about. Like, we talked about having no incentive to actually become good at TF2, right? But you don't have any incentive to actually play from the beginning. Like, you don't have a big prize pool waiting for you when you climb up the ladders. So for me, it is really, really, really paradox to see people coming to a certain high level, like I said, low prem, mid prem, and then settle there. Like, for me, the only thing you have to play for, the only thing you can play for, is for the seeding in the league. Like, you can only play for this sort of, like, E-fame, you know what I mean? Like, in this small TF2 community, as far as it goes. So, it's weird to see that people just have this, like, this one goal there to get into Premiership and then stay there. And I think like I know that Spin was really keen on actually improving his team, but I feel like one guy is really not enough to do that, especially not a medic. Like you need someone else.
I honestly have a lot of respect for Spin as a player. I mean, I may not have given him chances before. Like, obviously, I've captained England before, and I've never given him a chance to trial. But I've always had respect for him as a player because he's put so much effort into improving both himself and the team. It's just a shame that he's never had players with a similar mindset, which is like you said, it can't be something that you can't rely on one person to have that mindset in a team. It needs to be more. More people need to have the mindset of we want to be the best. Let's commit to this and let's learn. Whether it's like you PCW one night less a week, and then on that other night you don't scrim, or PCW rather.
You watch demos.
You watch demo. You watch some VODs. You learn from yourself. You learn from other teams, and you see what's happening. And you see what other teams are doing. You see what you could do differently.
All right, fuckers.
Yeah.
The thing is with his teams though, he always takes the guys that are left after last
keep it
week
moving.
and then just makes it.
It's the same with every different prem. Like they've always. Oh, okay, fine. That's fine.
No, I hear what you're saying. Absolutely. Just want to keep it moving because I know people have short attention spans. A 30-minute VOD might be something they want to see, but on that point, or slightly off on a tangent there, one of the most enjoyable things I thought about season 15 was just how much of a clusterfuck it was for 4th place. Like at the start, I would have bet money that BFF, Skidmark Central, all tied up, whatever you want to call them, would have been clear favourites for that 4th place spot. Some people might disagree, but I'll throw this one out to all of you and see who wants to jump on it. What were your thoughts about that battle for 4th, and like any teams or players you thought were particularly exceeding your expectations?
I'm really upset that BFF folded. I don't think Cadus leaving BFF for Zebbosai has changed much really, especially at this short period of time where like there's only this week is the playoffs. I don't think taking another player is going to make that much of a difference to them. It'd have been much more fun.
Do you know that they folded?
Did they fold
and then
already?
He joined the team. Like Delif said he can't commit time anymore and he doesn't want to play, so they folded the team on the weekend.
Well,
and on a Sunday we took him in.
What I was going to say.
You gonna believe that, Numlocked?
So there was always the plan of picking him up.
I believe it.
Like I'm not gonna lie. There was always the plan of
I know
picking him up, but it was kind of working into our favor that Delif were like, that Delif was like, well, I can't be asked anymore with this. Like, I don't really want to commit time into the players.
But honestly,
So
I don't think I don't mean this
basically.
offensively to Cadus because Cadus is obviously a really good dem man. But I don't think taking Cadus has improved you guys at all. I think it's
not in the short.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't for the season.
Well, I guess it's more for a long term.
Like, I always said
like I-49 or even after that.
Yeah, it was for LAN. Yeah, exactly. So like for now, like the changes that I have, we might be on the same level, right? We might be on the same level, or maybe just slightly better. But the ease and the level of relaxation a word in English? I guess whatever. I can play with now without having to care about my demoman's play is so much better. Like I enjoyed the game again. I wasn't enjoying the game at all. So for me, it was more about, can I be asked with this? Like, will I continue play TF2 like this? It wasn't necessarily an upgrade for the team.
I guess it's more on a personal level for you to like relieve some things from you because you don't have to call as much then. But at the same time, I feel like it's changed. It's like completely 180 your play style because Cadus and Brio are completely different dem men. Like you've now got practically 3 roamers on your team.
And I have to adapt to it. And some nights I completely struggle with that, and sometimes I don't. Like it works out really well. But now this is on me again. Like like I have to adapt, and I can do that. Like I put a lot of time into that game, so I will change that. And for like, I always said that for like, we'll see how the season ends. It's cool. We're third. We made a bit of money to get to land, like this £200 or whatever it is. But really, like the change overall was just because Brigo said he can't really be asked to commit time to improve to a good level before land. And I don't want to go to my probably last offline event for a while. With that.
Which is funny because like you guys are competing for. One, you're third at the moment, competing to, you want to be the best, and 2, you're competing to like at least knock out HRG at LAN. Like I think that's funny that someone in your team doesn't want to improve themselves to that, to be able to do that.
And that was always like there was always this split between the mindsets, which really was wearing up me every time. Like I was really exhausted in the end.
Yeah.
Because you can I can tell 20 seconds. Give me 20 seconds. I can tell when we play against Epsi, right? And Numlocked is keen, and Bash and Stefan don't give a shit that he is so annoyed after 2 hours of playing with them. Like
True.
they run around, they talk German and shit, and he's like, "What is going on?"
He
And I
laughed
say,
like Jimmy Carr.
Oh, I said twice. Oh,
No,
and
I
said,
laughed,
Oh,
I laughed.
again, we have to drink twice.
Fuck them. Like, it's so honestly, like, it's so annoying when they don't concentrate as hard in scrims. But I can understand it because it's not nowhere near the same as an official. But I can understand it. Like,
Right, I'll give
sometimes I don't
Zebbosai
feel- I
a
don't
chance
feel
to
like
jump in
fighting.
there.
Well, you also
That wasn't
don't-
really the question.
Whatever.
But what have you got to
Well,
say about Cadus
yeah.
anyway, Zebo?
It wasn't
I
there.
remember the question.
Can I go back?
No.
To the
Well,
question quickly? Can I go back to the
I
question?
agree with Numlocked that I don't think Cadus is like gonna be an improvement for them, even in the long term. But yeah, if Ips enjoys the game more like this, then of course that's good.
But you told me one week ago when we put him up that he's going to be such an improvement.
Because
can't
then you
keep
take
all that.
him.
What? So
Then
you're
you
like a
take
little-
him.
you're a
That's
little-
good for me.
You're a fleck in the wind.
No.
That's
Like,
kind of what?
you asked me if I think that's good, and I said yes. But
Don't we have like loads of scrims against you now? Is that something good for you?
we
guys?
always
And
lose every
closer-
PCW, man.
and closer like official results and shit. I mean, like on Viaduct.
I
Yeah,
hope
no,
you're not
no,
trying
no,
anything
not
from scrims.
like-
Ips.
We always
the
lose every
Viaduct,
PCW.
Viaduct and ESA gamer was like one guy losing us this whole thing, and it's jukebox on sniper. I mean, maybe I found a way to work around it. What's gonna happen then?
Well, I think it was that close, because we had a Merc and my mouse broke like 1 hour before that game.
Yeah,
That's the
also
only
you had a
reason I
long
thought it
break.
was
Don't
that
forget
close.
that.
Oh.
The
Okay,
long
okay.
break.
I don't want to get into this. Numlocked, you wanted to go back to the
Drink.
question proper.
Drink, drink.
He's laughing like a girl.
He's
Okay.
laughing
good.
like a girl.
Who impressed you?
I don't know, like, I don't want this to be offensive to any of the lower teams, but against them, Epsilon don't give a fuck, basically. Like, I know that sounds
That's not
horrible
true
to say.
as well. Like you do.
No, it is true. What do you mean it's not true?
But you.
Why do we need to? We don't need to try as hard versus the
Why would
anyone
you
below
scream
top
then
three.
and delete VODs off your Twitch TV if you don't
He's
give a
talking
fuck?
about.
No, I don't delete the VODs aren't there because like why?
You rage at them and then you delete them.
No,
so-
no, I rate at you guys. Why would I want you? Why would I want you? Like, it's basically you. It's why do I want you to have the satisfaction of hearing me rage about Stefan and Bash?
Oh,
this is
Seven
gold.
Bash. All right. I thought it was more about me coming behind you and choke all the time.
But does anybody have anything positive to say to
Right,
these
let's go.
fine gentlemen who play below you?
Try
I think
harder.
anyone.
Watch
We've
them
heard
play.
Hicks's name mentioned. You know, like who
I
else do you think
What am
is
I supposed to do?
potential
We're
talent?
improving. What about you just give
Like,
a
they
fucking
all have
mic,
good players.
and then you can talk? I'm not. He laughed like
They
a
all
girl.
have good players, but no one has a main caller, so they won't improve unless someone that can main call.
Yeah, like main calling in TF2 is such a hard job, and it's something that like you can't just do it. It needs so much experience, so much like it takes so much time to be able to do it.
I'm learning this shit, guys. And like, give me another 3 months after F49, I'm gonna rape your fucking teams.
Yeah, congrats on second place.
There's like there's no content actually. You know, you've got all these demos video clips for rollouts and strategies, things like that. But there's nothing to teach people how to main call.
Well, it's not something to be taught.
You
It's
just
not-
have to learn
exactly.
from
It's
doing.
something that you have to play for a long time.
If
and
you want a
learn.
main call, watch Numlocked main call.
Like,
Because he just screams this time. He left again like a girl. Jesus, I'm getting wasted here.
Oh man.
but there is content.
I'm
though.
already.
You
so
can
fun.
watch Numlock stream. You can watch Broder stream and crack on VODs, whatever. Like, you can learn from that too.
But main calling is not about. It's more about who you play against and how often you play against them and what they tend to do, rather than anything. It's about the experience you gain from playing against certain teams over and over again, more than anything. Like, it's because we played against you guys so much that we know what you guys do, and we know how to counter you, and we know what to do against you, we know what you're expecting us to do. That we don't have to do that, we can do something different, and you won't know the doing. Nice tips. Nice tips.
Wow. Okay. On that,
Brilliant.
let's move on. I've got one more sort of set up here before we do a little outro for part one. It's almost past 30 minutes here, but this is going to be the end of the playoff section at least. But really, I know there's not much point in asking Zebo and Ips for playoff predictions. So Numlocked again, I'm going to go to you. You're the wise sage. Tell me, who will Epsilon be facing in the grand final?
Quick answer.
Hello.
No. Tell me, which
Broder.
team would you prefer to face?
If-
Okay, now No.
He was
Over
laughing
to
like a
Zebbo.
girl. You guys
How do you
don't
feel
even
about that,
follow the
Zebbo?
rules anymore.
I'm drinking, man. I'm drinking. Don't worry.
Again, twice,
Why?
3 times,
Shut the fuck up.
4 times, 5 times.
Chug. Zebbo, tell me, how do you feel about that? You've just been picked out of the crowd here by Numlocked. He says you're the team to beat him.
No, but like he said, I've said one that we'd like to play, that I think they're going to be there, and 2 that I prefer to be there.
Discuss, Zebbosai.
Well, I think the same. Of course, I think I'm gonna beat CC in the final versus Epsilon.
But your mouse is shit at the moment.
But it doesn't matter. It's just CC.
Also, Zeppos is gonna play.
It doesn't matter. We still win. It's just closer.
It already mattered.
It's just closer, but we can still win.
It already made it up to matter. Oh, okay.
I'm giving you a chance here, to talk some trash, Zebbosai. These two are sitting here chatting like a couple of old women, man. People don't even know you're in this interview. Zebbosai, please, say something.
Well, I don't talk trash. I'm a nice guy.
Nice guy,
You
Zebbo.
don't talk trash. No. If someone doesn't talk trash, Zebbosai guys in Europe, don't you think he's ever talking trash?
Alright, we're not really going to get anywhere with that question. Nobody ever wants to give up any ground. That's cool. But, or Ips, maybe you've got something to say about what Numlocked's prediction. Do you agree with that?
What?
You think it's going to be a Broder Epsilon final? Are you happy with that?
Well, can I just say that I think that Zebosai have made too many changes too close to the playoffs, so I don't think they're going to be able to compete against a concentrated Broder. And again, Broder, I don't think they have the correct mindset or anything yet to face us. Like we're 5-0ing them still. In 10, we 5-0'd them in like 10 minutes. You can't think about it. We 5-0 you as well.
Bullshit! I'm knocking up the VODs of the last 2 weeks. Second.
Scrims.
You talking about scrims right now as well?
Like the changes that they've made so soon to playoffs are going to affect them. They're not going to be able to compete against the Broder. I assume the Broder are going to.
Valid point. We understand. Let's move on.
I assume the Broder know exactly how Zabats are going to want to play, so they're not going to be surprised by anything. They're not going to be caught off guard. And we know exactly what Broder want to do, and I think we're just stronger.
Well, you guys obviously have a sort of innate understanding of how each other's plays, but from like a pundit's perspective, 2 things or a couple of things I see coming in. Obviously, Kiedis coming in, big change. Then also, just heard before this interview, it's going to be Zappos instead of Bibbin. And Zebbosai, can you confirm or deny? Are you playing Pocket or Roamer? What's that arrangement with Jukebox?
Oh God!
I'm probably gonna play Pocket. Played it today and it worked fine.
No, let him roam. It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
So
most likely I'm gonna Pocket.
How do you guys factor in that, Numlocked? Do you think Zappos is an upgrade, downgrade, no grade to Bibbin?
Well, we've been playing as that for I don't know the past month, 2 weeks. It's made no difference. It's made no difference to them. I mean, we've even been playing with Kimberly, someone who's gone from Div 1/Div 2 to suddenly at the very top of European TF2, and it's made absolutely no difference to us. So playing with Bash is going to give us even more advantage because he's obviously used to playing with us. He's part of the main lineup. So I'm honestly there's no reason for me to be worried. We've been unbeaten for a year, like I said earlier. There's no reason for us to be worried.
Do you have anything to say here? Or are you just going to let the results do the talking?
Yeah. I have nothing to add.
Alright, we've got a little interesting one then.
It's gonna be Broder FC.
Got a little group exercise here to bring us out of part 1 here. Like, we're going to do a little bit of theory crafting. If we could combine a super team from Broder and Wu-Tang Clan to beat Epsilon, who would be in the starting 6?
No, we would never play with them. We hate
Oh, wow, drink.
We have to drink. I'm not going to answer this question. I will never play with anyone else in this team but Rip. Rip is cool, the rest full of shit.
Is that replacing Rip for Cadis? Wow.
No, that's Rip on Soldier, Pocket, and I go Medic and all this shit,
Yeah, we wouldn't replace anyone.
Maybe we should go to Numlocked.
Oh,
you guys give the most boring answers.
Okay,
Numlocked, who do you think are
no. It's my lineup. Okay, can I go? It's Cadis, Cookie,
Go ahead.
Sam, because Twick is an idiot. Who did I say? Cadis, Cookie, Sam? Yeah. Mirrolin, because fuck Tunas. Me on Pocket, obviously. Who's left?
Swedes.
Jukebox.
Oh no, T-Mag.
T-Mag.
Anytime.
Yeah, we wouldn't actually replace anyone.
I'd take Jukebox over.
Oh, this is not what this question is about.
Yeah, who is saying who?
It's
What
just
team would
I
be
agree.
the best?
I agree with Ips's lineup, accept our top T-Mac for Jukebox.
No, I love T-Mac too much.
Nah. You might love him, but I don't think he's on par with Jukebox. Like Jukebox is a playmaker. T-Mac
Yeah, but
isn't.
there's only so much to it. Like, if you can control them, then it's fairly easy.
Yeah, and I think with your lineup, you could react off of Jukebox's plays.
Okay.
We'll see.
Zebbosai, you're just saying that you're 100% happy with your lineup. You're not going to be drawn into this. You have complete faith in your roster.
Well, maybe we do like a Swede lineup and take Tunis and Tvink, because then the comms would be better.
I think main calling in their native language would help a lot. Both of these teams, I really do. Like main calling in the native language is so much easier than it is having to main call in English. For these two, at least, obviously not me.
What about that cookie guy, man? Can't shut him up once he starts talking.
I
Oh my
want to
god.
revoke my vote, by the way. I forgot that Merlin has autism. I won't play with 2 nuts. We have to drink.
Okay. Oh wow. Right. On that note, then we'll just do a little outro here. We're gonna keep going though, but in terms of YouTube, I'm gonna stop it here.